Welcome back everybody from a different location, from my office, because today we will review the new version of the ultimate arrow tool, Precision Arrow Analyser by Hars. This is the thing. You saw already the video of the first iteration and it got better. But first of all, what do you get? You get the analyzer, these two prongs here, the arrow rests, they come extra, you need to screw them on. You get this 1/2 inch measuring thingy, which we get into in a second. The manual you can have online, and everything comes nice in this plastic box, was very well packed. And there my first gripe starts. Not that I have a lot of gripes, but it's such a nice shipping box, and I would like to have it to take it in this box to the range or somewhere. But when I have the arrow rests on, it doesn't fit anymore. So you always need to unscrew them with the risk that you lose the screws. I told him now maybe he can make these ones foldable. Then you fold them in, and then you can put it in this plastic tube and everything is fine. But it's only a minor gripe. The second thing, but if we are talking about gripes, this is what you need to adjust here for 1/2 inch between the arrow and this measuring point. So this is exactly 1/2 inch. This comes sticked on a little tape somewhere, and this you will lose. So if we could find some place here, some slot like an SD card slot or something with a click that you can click it somewhere, then it's safe when you have it always with you like a tool which is attached somewhere on the housing. I think it's possible. That would be a nice upgrade. And for the rest, what you need is then a power bank, obviously, that you can power this up. What is the big thing they made new is this one here. It's a new, first they had the same like this one on this side. And when you had an arrow, let's say with 30 inches and you wanted to have your FOC, it was just already not working anymore, as you see, because the feather is in the way. So it only would work with 28 inch arrows, which I don't even have, because the distance from here to here is a standard 26. From the inside to the inside is 26. And now if you have a 28 inch arrow, this will work. See, then you have here the tip. And then you can measure the FOC, because for this you need the exact center of the arrow. Even with a 30 inch arrow it was not working anymore, the feather was in the way, and then when I have longer arrows it's no chance anymore. So I told my friend David if he could make something like this, that at least for 3-fletched arrows or even for 4-fletched arrows it would work. Now look, I can check now, I can eyeball it, that I put the arrow centered, and then one feather is sliding into this slot, and everything is just wonderful. So these are the new things, and the housing is a little more rounded, and I think the menu changed a little, but to this we come in a second. So how does this work? We start directly with this arrow, so it's quite easy. As said, you get a manual in PDF if you want to. You plug your USB power bank in. Then it takes a while, shows you everything you need. Is from Hars, the analyzer, and then whatever made, and then it says already put arrow. Self-explanatory. What I would suggest, if you want to know the FOC, take the length of the arrow, it's 32, and you take the 1/2, which would be 16, and make a small mark at 16. So. And now you can put this mark exactly on top of this screw, catching like this. Then you have the arrow on, and then it tells me already the weight. It's 28.8 grams and 444 grain. What I can do now is I press the button long. And this is one thing which I still don't like. First of all, this button is very wiggly and sometimes it's not so responsive, so it could be better. Now you can change your parameters. The draw weight is set to 40 pounds, but you can change it. So let's assume I shoot this bow with this long Sikiti and it is 37 pounds. Then I change this now to 37. The draw length was 31 inches if I'm not mistaken, so you need to press again. And this is where it sometimes doesn't respond. Now we are there. 31 inches is the max draw, let's say. 31. This is a little, could be more responsive. Or maybe like a D-pad on a camera or something. Now we are here, and the arrow length is 32 inches, as we just measured. But it's from tip, so we need to measure it properly. Then the arrow length is from the bottom of the tip to the nock of the groove, 30.5. So we go with 31. That's fine. And then we press again, and we go out of this, and now we directly have grain per pound is 8, grain per inch is 14, and the FOC is 9%. So I have every information I could possibly need very quick on hands. Of course, if you use now arrows for another bow, of course you need to change the poundage and the length and everything. So I have my marking still here. What I do now is, tick, press this down, it says bend arrow. Stop bend, you let go, and then it tells you the AMO is 40.6 ellipse, the ATA is 0.643 inches, and the ASTM is 779, so that would be a spine of 780, kind of. And then what you can do is, while we are there, here, when you turn around, you see now all your measurings. So once you're done here, you see the weight and the GGP and GPI FOC. We put the arrow in the center again, measures it, 28.7, 444 grain. So, and here, to only show you this half-inch thingy, you put underneath that you have directly, and you can really fine adjust it here, that it just works. So like this, it's just fine. So 444, now we press here, bend arrow, stop bend, and it tells us the spine as we had before. And when I press now once, it tells me rotate the arrow 180 degrees, which I cannot do because I can't fit it in the slot, so I turn it only 90, a bit more. Bend arrow, stop bend. Oh, no. Says straightness 8.7865 inch. Whatever that means. But in this way you get very quickly all the measurements you need. So that was now a 30-inch arrow. Let's see, we take now a carbon. Supposed to be 600 spine. What we are doing is we take first the length. It's 33 inches, so it's 16.5. Make a small marking there. And when it tells you put arrow, you put arrow with this marking in the middle, like so. So if I would not know that it's a 600 spine now, I would at least know that it's 321 grain or 20.8 grams. Then I can bend down, bend arrow, easy. Stop bend. Oh, I forgot the parameters. See? This is what you always need to do first. But we have a 637 spine, so it's a little weaker than it looks like, and is AMO 49.6 pounds, but still fine. Good. Quick, huh? Quick and easy. So, but let's see, let's take something a bit more out of the ordinary. This is, oh, it's beaten up. It's one of my Fairbone Netherlands arrows. It has a length of 36.5. So we put the arrow, oh wait, we make first the middle, is then 18.25, right? So you really need to go math here. 18.25. And the nice thing, even these long arrows, I can put now on here, see, easy peasy. So now I have a weight, 679 grain, 44 grams. Now I press here, and I have the parameters. The draw weight of the bow, it's a Manjo bow, let's say it's 55 pounds. Oh, let's say 50, otherwise And this is kind of a little leggy, and so it's a little fiddly, so this could be made better. And sometimes it doesn't respond. And now we are there. The draw length, we draw 35, I draw 35. And the arrow length is 36, let's say, because we don't have half inches. So 36, sure. Then we go out of this again. We go out of this again. Good boy. Now I know grain per pound is 7, so it's a bit too lightweight for my 50-pound bow. It's grain per inch 18, and the FOC is 10%, which is just fine. And now we check what the spine will say. You simply press, bend arrow, stop, bend. An AMO of 73.2 pounds, ATA 0.356 inches, and an ASTM of 431. This is, voila, easy, quick and easy. You only need to remember that you, before you start measuring everything, set the parameters for your arrows and your bow. And then you have this all, and then you're done. So it's easy peasy. Only make sure that you mark the middle, or you simply can eyeball it, but I would eyeball it like so. And then I'm almost half an inch off, so better you mark them with a small dot or a tape or something. And now he's meep, meep, meep. And that's all there is. I don't know the price, I think it's $80, but I don't know, and shipping a little. But it's a really, you only need a flat surface, and then you're ready to go. And of course, what I forgot now to mention, if you want to know the weight of your arrow tip, boop, it realizes directly that you put an arrow there. The point has 102 grain, so it should be supposed to be a 100 grain tip. Let's put it here. Recognizes it directly. Now it measures on B, so you can measure even 2 at the same time. Let's see, do I have another one? Oh, this is fancy. I like. So usually my tips, oh wait, I have a heavy tip. This one is a heavy tip. Look, this is an Alibo. Look, now we have a heavy tip on A, 175 grain, and this one is 102 grain. So you really, everything related with the arrow, easy peasy. But while we are there, this arrow has a length of 34, which is 17. There you don't see the marking, obviously, that's good, but we work. Now let's see what the FOC will do, because we have here, it's a lightweight carbon arrow with a heavy tip on it. So there's the middle. The arrow is 550 grain. Is a 500 spine. This is what I know already. $533 spine, and it's 59 pounds. So, and the FOC is, we have a grain per pound of them, because I didn't put the proper poundage of the bow, but the FOC is 25%. So you see, it's quite front heavy because of the heavy tip. It's interesting to see. I mean, that's a really pretty cool item, and I think it's $80 or something. You need a small USB. Maybe you mount it somewhere. I really wish that they could insert there a small battery, and you charge it then via USB, so you don't need this brick extra with you. Then it would be, not sure if there's space for a small battery. And for the ones they like to save data, maybe later on thinking about a Bluetooth connection to your mobile phone and the app where you can download, read, and all the measurements of your arrows, and you have a nice list and stuff. I don't need it, because what I usually do is, when I measure my arrow, I write somewhere the length, the spine, and the weight. This is what I need, that I know, okay, this arrow is 32, mostly I see it, but just in case. And that I know the spine, just in case it's not written there. that I know with bow I can shoot it, because mostly you see me shooting the wrong arrows, always too lightweight arrows. And of course I need to know the weight, that I know is the bow in the recommended grain per pound, is the arrow in the recommended grain per pound for the bow. It's hot, I tell you, but interesting, huh? It's a really interesting tool. So I think everybody should have, when you build your own arrows. You know that long ago I did this arrow analyzer from Bearpaw, which was, this one is really, does the job for me. So I like this one, I like the design. Of course I would wish one could make this now collapsible and foldable, and that I can put it in a smaller form factor. But maybe this is some ingenious stuff David can do later, that this thing is really collapsible, that you push it, that you have here connectors. Then you can unplug this, unplug it here, and then you have these two parts, and the middle part nice in a small pouch, everything together, not that long. But on the other side, if you carry arrows, you have already one bigger thing, so it's fine by me. It would be nice to have, as said, Bluetooth on, making it collapsible. Maybe for the future you want to think about this. This is the normal version, and then this goes up to, I think, 60 pounds or 80 pounds with a draw weight you can put in, and they have a pro version, which is then orange, and it goes up to, I think, 120 pounds if I'm not mistaken. So if you use heavier poundages, you can get the pro version. I think it's a little more expensive because it's pro. Whew. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you very much, David, for sending it to me. That's a really cool item. Now I have my own again, because I intend to do some videos about arrows, go into this topic of arrows a bit more, and then I need always a good analyzer. So the only thing, look, this is what I don't like. This feels then a little cheap and a little flimsy. The rest is all really nice made, and this one wiggles around. I thought already maybe it's a 4-way joystick or something, but it's not. So, okay. Then we take my heavy Manchu arrow with the marking in the middle. So. Now it realized that on both sides is a weight, so it realized it's an arrow. It's 678 grain, 44 grams. So and now you press the button, and then you see the draw weight. Let's say your Manchu bow has 45 pounds. Draw length. We draw this bow 34 inches. Let's say it's a Cadiz bow Manchu, 34. And sometimes the response is not there. The arrow length is 36 inches. Almost 37, but it's not rocket science. So then we press long. Or short, no long. In some things it's not really responsive. This is a bit the downside. Come on. Now it's, so the contacts here are a little, and now you see directly we have 9 grain per pound. Grain per inch of this arrow would be 18, and we have an FOC of 11, which is still fine. So now what we can do is we bend the arrow, stop bending, we let go, and then it tells us all what we need to know. It's a 435 spine, it's an AMO of 72.5, everything you need to know. If you would press now here, sometimes it works, sometimes not. So this is the thing, rotate arrow 180 degrees. And let's say we do this now, and then we bend the arrow again. Stop bending. And I guess we have to remove the arrow. Then you see the straightness 6.0052 inches. I don't know what that means. But these are all the quick measurements you can get. Thank you very much for watching. Catch you in the next one.